cross over to a human being and cause a disease. So those diseases are called zoonosis. By the time we finish this parliament, you will be up to date with the medical issues. So that means that the Ebola virus, which causes Ebola disease, the reservoir is in animals. And the bat, the fruit bat, is the one which usually harbors this virus. But also it thrives in primates, non-human primates, and some other animals. So when it crosses over to human beings, it causes a disease. Now, the first case of Ebola was identified in 1976. There was a simultaneous outbreak in DRC and Sudan, the current South Sudan. And Ebola is the name of a river which is in the DRC. So it derives its name from the Ebola River because the first outbreak was in a community around River Ebola in Congo. I am paraphrasing my statement, I will not read verbatim. Now, so the first outbreak was in Congo, Zaire then. So that strain of the virus was called Ebola Zaire. So there is a strain called Ebola Zaire. Then the strain which was in Sudan was different. It was called Ebola Sudan. Now in 2007, 2008, we had an outbreak in the Bundibujo district, western Uganda. And when the scientists checked the virus, the strain was different from the previous ones. So it was named Ebola Bundibujo. Are you following, class? So Ebola Bundibujo, Ebola Bundibujo refers to that strain of the virus which first hit us in Bundibujo and it was different from the previous strains. There are 6 strains. Strain means a subtype, a different type. There are 6 strains of Ebola virus. But the ones of public health importance are those 3: Ebola Zaire, Ebola Sudan, and Ebola Bundibujo. There is another one called the Thai forest Ebola virus. It was first identified in Ivory Coast, I think 1989. There is another one called the Reston virus, but it doesn't cause disease in human beings. There is another one called the Bombali virus, which was identified in Sierra Leone. But those last 3 are not very much of public health importance because they are not associated with human infections. So I just wanted to give you that background for us to understand. So the people of Bundibujo, because I have received complaints that we should change the name because it could create stigma for the people of Bundibujo. But that's how the international scientific community named it, because it was first isolated in the Bundibujo, which is in western Uganda. I can also add that since 1976, we have had about 40 outbreaks and flare-ups in the last 50 years. And I would speak to the importance of that. Congo, DRC, they are now witnessing the 17th outbreak. Here in Uganda, we are witnessing the 9th outbreak of Ebola. The first one was the 2000, which ravaged northern Uganda. You recall when we lost one of our prominent doctors, Dr. Rukwia. That was the first outbreak of Ebola in 2000. Since then, we have had several outbreaks and flare-ups, and this is the 9th. Let me give you the statistics as 10th of May, no, before that, on the 10th of May, a Congolese national came into Uganda and he was sick and he was admitted at Chibuli Hospital. Little did the health workers know that this was a case of Ebola disease. And he died on the 14th, 4 days later. When he died, the health workers were suspicious. They took samples from him, and on the 15th of May, they confirmed this was a case of Ebola. And that's why the Ministry of Health announced that there is an outbreak of Ebola after confirming the death of that Congolese. His body was returned and buried in DRC. So since then, this is what has happened. As of today, we have registered 20 confirmed cases. Those are cases that have tested positive for Ebola disease. And all of them, it is this very strain of Ebola individual. Over the 20, 15 are Congolese nationals who came into Uganda seeking medical care. So you can say the outbreak we've been managing is an imported outbreak because the epicenter where it originated is in Congo. And now it came to Uganda because the Congolese were coming for medical care in Uganda. So over the 15 were Congolese nationals who crossed over to Uganda. Now, especially the first case, because the health workers didn't know it was Ebola, 4 of our health workers got infected. And then, so those are 15 plus 4, those are 19. Then 1 was a driver who transported one of the Congolese when he was coming. That is the 20. Now, of the 20, 2 unfortunately died. They were Congolese nationals. And when they died, their bodies were taken back to Congo for safe and dignified burial. That leaves a balance of 18. Now, the 18, they have been managed in our Ebola treatment unit in Morago, and I am happy to say that this morning I presided over a function where we discharged the last patient. So all those who tested positive for Ebola, 2 died, then the rest have been treated successfully and they have been discharged. The last one, who was a Congolese national, was discharged this morning. So as of now, we have 0 cases in the country. So like I have said, the case fatality rate means of those whom you tested positive, how many have died. We lost only 2, which translates to 10%. And for this strain of the virus, the case fatality rate usually ranges from 25 to 36%. That means we have done very well. We have not lost many of our patients. The other strains like Ebola Zaire is extremely virulent. It can kill up to 90% of those who test positive. But this one is a little less mild, but it can kill up to 25 to 36%. But this is an average. If it finds when you don't have a strong system in the country, it can also kill up to 90% or even beyond. So the fact that we've been able to have a low case fatality rate means our response system has been fairly effective. And even those who died, yes, you can clap for that. Even those who died, they died because they presented late. And in the last 21 days, we have not registered any positive case. And in the management of Ebola, when a patient tests positive, then you trace back and get to the contacts. Anybody who has been in contact with that patient in the last 21 days, you round him up, or you bring him to isolation. And we did this. And through that system, we were able to identify 836 contacts who were in touch with these 20 cases that tested positive. We put them under isolation. They completed the 21 days. None of them developed symptoms. None of them tested positive, and they have all been discharged. And that is a very important element in managing Ebola disease. Now, compare these results with what is happening across among our sisters and brothers in the DRC. I spoke to the officials. As of today, the 16th of July, they have 2,011 Congolese who have tested positive for Ebola. And they have lost 754 individuals due to Ebola. So in Congo, I was there a few days ago in Bunya, leading a team of Ministry of Health and WHO. I am very safe. I am very safe, Right Honorable Speaker. What we see in Congo is that the outbreak, the Ebola disease outbreak, is outpacing the response. But despite the efforts there, it is increasing rapidly. It began in Ituri province, but there have been reported cases in North Kivu, South Kivu, and I think this morning I got a report there are 2 more provinces where there are reported cases of positive identification of Ebola. So there, things are not as good as they are here. Now, without going into the details, I'm sure when you access the report on your iPads, you'll be able to read the details. But I can safely say we have done fairly well, courtesy of the experience we have gathered over the years, because the past...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The small clarification I want to raise, whereas I want to thank the Ministry so much for the work that you have done and how you have managed the disease. The clarification I want you, before you conclude, to raise, and that's why I came, is the issue of announcing that we have Ebola. Because when this disease comes and you're managing it very well, why does the information come out very fast that there is Ebola in Uganda, and when we travel, there is a ban everywhere? People start looking at you with scorn that you have Ebola. I want you to handle that particular matter when you are discussing, as you're concluding your statement, that particular area of announcing, and the Minister of Health announcing that there is Ebola in Uganda. Honourable members, this is a very important matter.
Honourable Minister, do you want to conclude? Do you really want to conclude?
The Right Honourable Speaker is...
If you don't want to conclude, you will be giving other people to clarify. But okay, you are the most clarified minister from Ministry of Health. I would think so. You are also the most...
So thank you very much.
The most informed Minister of Health. So inform the House and resume your seat, and we get the opposition to also summarize in 3 minutes, and then we see whether there are some lessons we can take from that. These are okay.
Thank you very much. In the health sector, we operate a policy of openness, and the World Health Organization international standards require us to make a notification when we get these rare diseases like viral hemorrhagic fevers like Ebola. So professionally, it is not acceptable that you get this kind of illness and you keep quiet, because keeping quiet might result in other people getting infected. And that has been the policy in Uganda. You recall, Right Honourable Speaker, that even in the 80s, when countries were fearing to say they have HIV and AIDS, President Yoweri Museveni authorized the then Minister of Health, Dr. Rakana Rugunda, to go to Geneva at the WHO Assembly and announced that Uganda has a big problem of HIV and AIDS. And other countries were laughing at us. How do you tell the world that you have this problem? But because of that openness, we were able to contain HIV and AIDS, and we are one of the countries that is on record for having successfully handled. But probably the advice you are giving is that while we should not hide information, but we should communicate in a manner that does not result in injuring our national economy and interests. Right Honorable Speaker, let me just explain one point, then I sit. Discharging the last patient does not mean that the country is Ebola disease free. The World Health Organization standards and recommendations is that when you discharge the last patient, then you start on a countdown. The incubation period of Ebola is 21 days, is up to 21 days. So we count 2 cycles of the incubation period. So we shall count starting 21 days, those are 42 days. So if in the 42 days we don't register any positive case, then Uganda will be declared Ebola free. What we have done, Right Honorable Speaker, is that our president talked to the president of DRC, and the 2 heads of state agreed that we handle this outbreak jointly, the 2 governments. And the 2 ministers of state signed an MOU. I signed on behalf of the government of Uganda, and my counterpart, Minister of Public Health in Congo, signed and agreed on a number of interventions to jointly pursue. One of them which we agreed on, it's very important, I inform Parliament, is that this is an imported outbreak. It came into Uganda because Congolese were coming to Uganda for better medical care. So we agreed that the government of Uganda will support the Congolese government by establishing Ebola treatment centers on the other side of Congo. And the president authorized us to open up to 4 centers. We have so far opened one in Aru. Aru is the area which oversees West Nile. We have also opened one in Kasenyi, across in Toroko, Lake Albert. But we have also deployed experts in Bunya and Guampara, which is in the center of Ituri. So we have sent over 50 specialist health workers in Uganda to support our counterparts in Congo, and also agreed on joint surveillance, joint monitoring, sharing information. We have established a laboratory in Arua and Bwera and Kasese. Some of the samples from Congo are brought to our laboratories, but also we have Uganda Virus Research Institute and another one in Wandegea. So we have joint collaborative activities. So although we now register 0 cases in Uganda, but the collaborative interventions continue, and we shall work with Congo until they register the last
Thank
case.
you, Right Honorable Speaker. Could you please resume your seat first? The procedure issue I'm raising, Mr. Speaker,
I know that
is about what the rules require of the minister.
Let me also raise the procedure issue.
Most obliged.
I know that you're a commissioner, parliamentary commissioner, but you don't have authority to ask anybody to resume seats.
That one I withdraw with apology, Right Honorable Speaker. But what I'm raising, sorry for the interruption, is that the minister is in absolute defiance of the rules. They require him, he has a very good statement, but he has hardly taken us through the statement. He is actually submitting off the cuff. Actually has degenerated into a lecture. So is it procedurally right, Mr. Speaker, for the minister to be in breach of the rules that require him to read the statement verbatim?
Yes, is proceeding well, because at the beginning it was the guidance of the chair that he summarizes on the assumption that members have them already in the iPad. So we sit down, relax, and enjoy the lecture. Yeah, but we expected him to just summarize because members have it already in the iPad.
Yes.
And then Yeah.
So
We should learn to read these things, not to wait and read together with the presenter.
So thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, and Honorable Nambeshe, to quickly forget the rules, because you can summarize and speak to your presentation, because if I had read the verbatim, I would probably take a little bit longer and maybe take Parliament's time. So in conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, no, that one I decline with respect.
No, there's something very important, clarification.
No, the rules say.
Honorable Minister.
You see, when you ask clarification, I look at the speaker, whether there is pressure of time.
The Honorable Dr. Gilbert Olanya, I know you recently got a PhD. Let the PhD on medicine talk, for you on PhD on education management and other things. The temptation of two lecturers
Yes.
talking to us here.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, just allow me to make two brief points that I sit.
Don't provoke. Here there are so many lecturers. Here. Please, Honorable Minister, don't water down your very good, well thought statement. Honorable Gilbert, you will speak. But I know, Honorable Gilbert, for information of members, we joined this parliament together, but he took his time and he went to school and he studied proper PhD, not this other PhD. So if this parliament has never congratulated you, I now want to do so. Yes. Yeah. He graduated properly. Yeah. So they are matching. So his mind tickles when another PhD holder is speaking. His mind, I can imagine. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. But also to assure the Honorable Nambeshe that what I am speaking is extracted from the statement. I'm not reading something different from the statement. I'm just summarizing and paraphrasing. But lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, the communities along the border, DRC-Uganda border, we intensified the campaign and lots of interventions, which included closing markets, disallowing big assemblies of people. I have, for instance, received a petition from the bar owners in Arua and West Nile regarding the disruption of their business. Given the progress we have registered, we shall keep our borders with the DRC closed, but the National Task Force chaired by Her Excellency the Vice President will sit, and then we'll see how to flexibly allow people to return to normal situation. Number two, so we are handling those issues, especially on the border points. Number two, which is also very important, Right Honorable Speaker, is that what bothers Ugandans today are the travel restrictions and bans imposed by some countries, disallowing their citizens traveling to Uganda, but also making it difficult for people in Uganda to travel to their countries. Like I said, this is my last point. Just hold on, I allow you after I make the point. Right Honorable Speaker, like I said, this Ebola disease was first identified in 1976. That means today it is 50 years old. 50 years old. We have had up to around 40 outbreaks in Africa, in Congo, in Uganda, South Sudan, West Africa. But the reported cases of Ebola that have been exported outside Africa are less than 30 in 50 years. Actually, to be exact, they are 29, including the recent case in France. So that means that Ebola, given its transmission dynamics, does not easily get exported. outside. And even those 29 cases are mainly doctors and health workers who have been training.
Procedure question.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I appreciate the statement by the Minister. Right Honorable Speaker, according to your order paper, the Minister was allocated 10 minutes to present the statement. Is he really proceeding well to exceed the 10 minutes without due permission from your authority and turning the statement into a lecture and the Parliament into a lecture class? Is it procedurally right?
Honorable Minister, you've been informed that you've run out of time. So you conclude.
Okay. Now,
and, those who are timing
so
are the ones who are not proceeding well.
Yeah. So why I was raising that point, Right Honorable Speaker, is that we are engaging the international community, especially the over 20 countries which have put those travel restrictions, that those decisions are not backed by science. Because those decisions are hurting the economy, and Parliament should know. So we are engaging these countries, given the progress we have registered, with a view that they open up so that our economy doesn't get affected. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I want to ask the Shadow Minister of Health.
Speaker, just it is related to the last statement that he has made. Travelers coming from Uganda to countries like USA, Canada, and Bahamas are being subjected to mandatory quarantine. And now, what do you advise of other travelers who are likely to come from Uganda to travel to other countries? Because you have just told us you have given a window period of 42 days from now to declare Uganda a free Ebola country. 42 days, yes.
Honorable Minister, briefly, then since we are debating this as he is presenting, so you will agree with me.
Yes, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member. Now, DRC, other than Uganda, is the only country with the outbreak. So if you enter Uganda and you have been in the DRC in the last 21 days, we quarantine you for 21 days, including the health workers who are there. When they get like leave and come back, we put them in isolation until when they complete. But if you are from the US, Kenya, anywhere else where there is no Ebola, there is no need for isolating you.
What is the order about, Honorable Namboze?
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister has just told this House that he has just returned from DRC. And he has told us that it is a policy that the people who travel from Congo to Uganda are quarantined. Is in order to expose this House to Ebola by running out of the quarantine to come here. And in that spirit, as you rule, Right Honorable Speaker, isn't it proper that he also tells us how to deal with people who come from Congo, the Congolese who come to Uganda, and Ugandans like him who come from Congo? How should we treat them? I request that you rule on that. Is he in order to be here when he should be in the quarantine, as he has told this House?
Honorable Minister, before I rule, tell us when you escaped from the quarantine, so that we can calculate whether you're on breach.
The reason why we quarantine somebody who has come from Congo is largely because we are not sure the kind of exposure you had when you were in Congo. Because you just arrive at the airport, say, where have you been in the last 21 days? You indicate I've been in Congo. In my case, the Minister of Health is sure that when I went to Congo, I was not in contact with any person who would pose a risk. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we are sure. The Minister of Health is sure that when I was in Congo, I never got exposed to the risk of Ebola. So that's why, so don't get worried. So nobody in this house,
Thank you.
and even those who have met me in the last 21 days, should not be worried about me being a risky person in terms of
Thank you. That is cleared.
making you vulnerable.
Shadow Minister of Health, 3 minutes. Those who are timing, please. I thought I had your cooperation. I didn't know that you feared Ebola so much.
Thank
Give
you, Right
extra time.
Honorable Speaker. And unlike the Minister, I will not subject this House to a lecture. However, I will give a report of what it is, the reality of what it is. So, Right Honorable Speaker, while we join all Ugandans in thanking our dedicated frontline health workers who contain the clinical spread of this virus to just 20 cases, we must separate medical containment from administrative incompetence. The Ministry of Health may have managed the surveillance and clinical isolation very well, but its catastrophic failure in managing outbreak information has caused self-inflicted economic devastation that will take our country years back to recover from. This is the reality of the numbers, Right Honorable Speaker. There was no community spread. There was absolutely zero community transmission within the boundaries of Uganda. Looking at the anatomy of these 20 confirmed cases, the majority are DRC imports. Out of the 20 total cases, 15 were imported directly from the severe epidemic in the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Then the remaining 5 cases were strictly secondary transmissions limited to medical frontline, like you told us here, frontline workers, and immediate family caregivers who are already under close monitoring. Right Honorable Speaker, this is and was not a Ugandan outbreak. It was a spillover from Democratic Republic of Congo. Yet because the ministry lacked a backbone of clarity in public communication, the world was allowed to believe that Ebola was tearing through our communities. They actually gave it a Ugandan face. So this is the cost of no clarity in communication, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, because the ministry has chosen an alarmist, uncoordinated approach to data dissemination, our premium of 1.7 billion US dollars of tourism sector was left exposed to international panic. The massive cancellation, Right Honorable Speaker, the ministry allowed international markets to believe the entire country was a hot zone. This triggered immediate booking cancellations during our peak May to September safari season. Then there's a liquidity crisis for local operators. Instead, this liquidity crisis for local operators terrified international clients, and this demanded immediate cash refunds, pushing local tourist operators to the brink of bankruptcy. And then the Namugongo wipeout. The Namugongo wipeout alone wiped out an estimate of 30 billion to 44 billion in domestic and regional trade. And this really, this hurt the local vendors and the transporters and the hospitality sector. Right Honorable Speaker, the halting of our progress. Uganda entered 2026 celebrating a 19.7% growth in tourist arrivals. However, the ministry's unfocused communication single-handedly crushed this upward trajectory. Then the diplomatic disgrace, like my fellow colleague had stated here. There's humiliation of Ugandan travelers. The Dubai visa ban. The United Arab Emirates.
Thank you. Can I have Dr. 1 minute due to public demand from... Okay. Then we shall have
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The Chair of Health. You get ready. You will have...
Yeah, so there is the issue of the Dubai visa ban. the issue of the airport humiliation. Ugandans are being subjected to mandatory invasive secondary blood testing at airports. That's like in China and Dubai. Then there is the guilt of association, of course. While international health bodies lazily bundled Ugandan single-digit data within massive 1,400 plus cases epidemic in DRC, the lack of data defense allowed foreign embassies to slap a blanket travel ban to Ugandans. Right Honorable Speaker, we propose these urgent reforms: an establishment of a joint inter-ministerial crisis communications task force, which should comprise the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Tourism, and the Uganda Tourism Board. We also request for an enforced aggressive data separation. The ministry must separate Ugandan tracking dashboards from neighboring countries. Then we also request for a proactive aviation and border diplomacy. And then a hyper-local non-alarmist reporting. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, transparency is a legal obligation under international health regulations, but reckless communication is a choice. The Ministry of Health chose a path that protected their data charts, but destroyed Ugandan businesses and humiliated our citizens. We pray, therefore, for a formal, aggressive diplomatic push to lift the Dubai visa ban and airport blood tests in China. I beg to submit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable.
From the applause, Dr. Boriumus, you have somebody I heard saying that Akubienyo, I don't know what it means. Doctor, Chair Health.
Yes, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. This being my first time to hold the mic, allow me to congratulate you upon your election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Honorable members, I'm Julius Mande, Member of Parliament of Bukonzo County East, and by the grace of God, Chair Health Committee. But importantly, I rise as someone with experience, having treated the first cases of Ebola Bundibujo, while I practiced as a health worker in 2007 in Ichicho in Bundibujo. And additionally, with experience working with the World Health Organization for the past 14 years. Now, I have to say, colleagues, we need to appreciate the Honorable Minister of Health for a comprehensive statement about the current trend of the disease that we are facing now, which is Ebola, that is highly transmissible, and also the success so far registered. It's also important to appreciate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for his strategic guidance and leadership during disease outbreaks and health emergencies. You remember, he has always come on board and given guidance to the nation. And also thank Ugandans for heeding the advice. But importantly, Honorable Speaker, as I move towards winding up, Minister of Health has demonstrated superiority in mounting an effective and quality outbreak response, again, where a disease outbreak like Ebola is only confined to known contacts. Now, while the risk continues because of
Honorable Fungaro, you border Congo. And then I will ask Honorable Edison Rugumayo, please sit down. Let these border people say something. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I am glad that the Minister of Health has been able to come here to brief us. Much as members are fearing the issue of somebody who has gone to a country where there is this problem coming to Parliament, it is necessary for us to be briefed so that we can also brief others to remain safe. As chairman of the West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, therefore, I would like to thank three categories of people. Number one, the government of Uganda. For the reason that the government of Uganda took action first within Uganda and also took the initiative to put a treatment center in DRC, particularly in Aru, the sister city of Arua. We people of West Nile are transborder people. Even if we don't have Ebola here in Uganda, even if we don't die here in Uganda, if Ebola remains in Congo, we are bound to go for burial in Congo. Because the Lubara are in Congo, they are in Uganda. The Kakwa are in Congo, they are in Uganda. They are on
there comes a time when this August House must stand united in expressing profound gratitude to government. I believe this is the day. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the government of Uganda through Minister of Health for their very decisive swift and very effective solution which has helped us contain. It is at this that I want to request and pray that government, if they can find empathy and provide subsistence support some of my communities in Itoroko. Honorable Speaker, we have whose communities don't indulge in any crop
district. Firstly, I appreciate government through the district. Firstly, I appreciate government through the Ministry of Health for the quick intervention in Mpondwe, Lubiriha Town Council. Right Honorable Speaker, the porous border of 60 kilometers, all the markets are closed. They had said it would take 3 weeks, but it's now beyond 2 weeks. The people, especially the women, 70% that work in those markets now do not have daily income. I therefore request through you that the OPM, Minister of the Prime Minister, should really intervene in this disaster by giving something to our people that can salvage hunger. The business export zone, the whole area is closed, and I request through the Minister of Disaster Preparedness, also the Minister of Health, I thank you very much, and also thank the security team in the district of Kasese, headed by the RDC, Joe Walusimbi, for the quick intervention into this matter. Thank you very much.
Honorable Dr. Gilbert Olanya, I know you border another country, but you are insisting on speaking. Amuru is
Thank
at the
you.
border.
Yes. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we border South Sudan. We are also at the border. Right Honourable Speaker, there is something very important I would like the Minister to clarify. Aware that many schools stopped parents from visiting their children in schools because of Ebola. I am happy that you stated clearly that the last cases of Ebola was discharged, and I would like you to clarify to the nation whether parents are now free to visit their children from schools. And finally, allow me to appreciate you, Honorable Minister, for being very active in the fight against Ebola, and this is the way to go. And I wish government is active in fighting other cases like the way the Ministry of Health is fighting Ebola. I pray that the NRM government should not only concentrate in fighting the outbreaks. We have so many cases in this country, like corruptions, all those. Fight them actively the way you are fighting the Ebola. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
So medical Ebola is equated to corruption. Honorable Alenyo, Marshall. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Alenyo Marshall, Godfrey from Pakwach. Honourable Speaker, I represent the Jonam people who border Congo at Dei sub-county, which is the most upper part of the Jonam County. The people of Pakwach have suffered a lot during this Ebola virus. First of all, like most of the border districts, the schools were closed, markets closed, churches closed, the police has tear gassed people from all those public venues. Now I join my sister from Kasese in demanding that as quick as next week, Jonam suffers drought, they don't have their land, there is a lot of problems. Let them help our people and send relief aid, particularly to those areas bordering Congo, like Dei sub-county. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
I think let's agree that Honourable Mapenduzi, is Gulu at any border? But he could be telling us he was in DRC. Let him be the last on this matter and we move on. But what is important that the leaders from those areas, they need to be met as government so that the cases were in Kampala. But Honourable Mapenduzi, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, for those who know, in 2000, when we had the Ebola outbreak, over 200 people died in Gulo. And so when I speak from that very informed point of view, having had that terrible experience. Honourable Speaker, I would like to very sincerely thank the Minister of Health. Much as some people think that how they communicated could have affected the economy, Right Honourable Speaker, you may have a vibrant economy, but it is more important to save lives before we even talk about generating more money. If the Ministry of Health had not acted the manner they've acted, by now the story would have been different. And so we need to appreciate, and that would help to encourage the Ministry of Health to do more. And so mine is to commend the Ministry of Health and also encourage them to do more. Our people are in the front line. We have a duty to encourage them, to support them, and as Parliament, Right Honourable Speaker, we need to do everything possible to support the Minister of Health. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister of Health. Oh, Lope, I thought that you already did. Now this is Nakawa or what?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, I want to appreciate the Minister for his statement, and to also commend the frontline health workers who have risked their lives and continue to do so as to save lives. In the past, we have seen some health workers like Dr. Matthew Lukwia and others who were fighting, pushing back against Ebola, and they succumbed. So we need to commend these health workers, and that's why many times we talk about them. We say, let's facilitate them better, medical interns, equipment, and all these different things, yeah? Because they are competent. Because they are competent, they want to work. Sometimes we let them down. Mr. Speaker, I think that government needs to do a lot more, whether diplomatically, but to better manage our image. This week, at the start of this week, I saw an order, and it's now in the public, by the department, the US Department of Health and Human Services. They have banned entry of people from Uganda into their country for 30 days. Now, after the 30 days, they will evaluate whether to extend that order or not. There's numerous other countries, UAE. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have been telling me they're unable to go for Umrah in Saudi Arabia because they can't access. We have not managed this well because the world thinks people are dropping dead of Ebola in Uganda every day. And yet it's not true. So as the health workers are doing their best, we need to do our best as well. Because we are in a precarious situation and it's affecting us. A travel advisory has also been issued by the US for, among other reasons, health. Of course, there's crime, terrorism, and all these different things. And I've seen a disjointedness between government departments. So you'll find that some who are fighting and they're saying, people, no, the situation is not as bad here in Uganda. And then they don't seem to get support from other departments. So the government departments need to talk to each other. That's why we're having all these challenges. But finally, Mr. Speaker, while there's a few government departments that are trying to make sure the image doesn't look as bad, again, there are others who I just don't understand. What government does sometimes is it being deleterious to itself. What do I mean? You make us look bad sometimes, some of you people in government. Mr. Speaker, the world reads reports about Uganda. A media house closed. NTV for now 3 weeks. You know, because we don't seem to be bothered about media and press freedom. That hurts our country. NGOs have been closed, suspended, and so on. Every day we are here on the microphone asking, where is this person? Yesterday we were here talking about the Honorable Muhammad Mwanga Chivumbi. I'm yet to get a report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yesterday you ordered that we do get a report and the family gets to access him. That has not happened yet, and several other people. These things make us look bad. That's the reality. So as we are striving to work on our image as a country, let's sort out these issues.
Honorable, I think the time is done. You want to put him on order or what?
Right. Yes, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker.
He has exited the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
He has complied to your order. Honorable Bariomusi, 2 minutes to wrap up. You had an attack, but then you had some army that rescued you from the...
Yes, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and members. And I want to thank the honorable members for the comments that you have made. Our primary responsibility as a government and the Ministry of Health in particular is to protect the Ugandans, first and foremost. It is not to please the US so that their travel advisory is good. It is to protect the Ugandans first. And when an outbreak like this comes out, you are hard pressed between the two choices: to be transparent and report the disease, so that you prevent it and caution people not to get it, or to remain quiet even when there is a risk of many people contracting it. So my sister, Onaramani, is saying we should probably have kept quiet even if people get infected.
To use the word like reckless communication, I thought that was too below the belt. Were you reckless in your communication?
No, not at all. She should distinguish the way we have acted, and now we have 0 cases, and if we had become reckless, and we also have like 2,000 cases like we see in the DRC. So she should revise to understand the meaning of reckless. We were not reckless, we were very careful to give this information so that we can protect ourselves. And whether an outbreak is imported or it originates from here, the risks are still the same. For instance, the decision taken to postpone the celebrations in Namugongo, we discovered close to 1,000 Congolese were already on the pilgrimage coming to Namugongo. If we had allowed it, probably now we would be having a different story of having in the Karamoja, in the Chigezi, in West Nile, having cases. So, I expected her to appreciate that we've been able to contain this outbreak. I know the measures which we have instituted as government cause disruption in the public discourse, but the English say, to get an omelette, you must break the egg. You cannot enjoy an omelette unless you have broken the egg. So for us to reach where we have reached in terms of containing this outbreak, there are disruptions which have been caused by the measures. So I beg the honorable members and the public to appreciate that the intentions of government are not to hurt Ugandans, but rather to protect them. Going forward, like I said in my statement, is that we shall sit as National Task Force, chaired by Her Excellency the Vice President, and now do a review regarding the restrictions and the measures we had announced, especially in the border districts. Like the Honorable Olanya is asking whether parents are now allowed to visit schools. We are going to review all this, and I said it in the statement that now that we have established treatment centers in the Congo, we hope the Congolese nationals who are coming here for better treatment, the better treatment now is in their country, they will not be coming here, then we can now relax some of the measures. So I may not announce the relaxation here, but once we sit as a task force, we shall give a statement that it cushions our traders, our business people, our communities, and then we shall keep you.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. And the issue of the travel advisory, the visas, I said in my statement, we are engaging the governments, especially in light of the progress we have registered. So sooner or later,
your engagement should be directed to the WHO. Because the information that US, UAE are getting are from WHO. Which agency you work directly with?
Absolutely. Even this morning I had a meeting with a country representative of WHO discussing the very matters. So those are being handled, and we shall keep you updated.
I met a foreign diplomat today who told me there are people from his country, they are afraid to come here because other countries don't want to see any stamp of Uganda. So it's very serious. Yeah. Next item, please. We can't proceed when there's nothing before us. Let's first read this item. Yeah.
3.2 Statement on Uganda's preparedness to co-host AFCON Pamoja 2027.
Yes, Honorable Paul Mwiro, you wanted us to proceed. That is what we are going to proceed on. What's your procedure matter?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday I once again raised the matter in respect of the fundamental human rights of our citizens, in respect of Ewano Amos Rangomani Turinawe, who filed a writ of habeas corpus and orders were granted to the effect that they produce his body, they produce him either dead or alive. Then the Honorable Attorney General alluded the fact that despite the fact that he was a party to the suit, that he didn't have copies of the court documents. I had sent him some electronically to him and to the Minister of Internal Affairs, but I also served on him a copy of the ruling and a copy of the court order. So I'm wondering, what Honorable Speaker, whether, and there's also the question of...
When did you do the service?
It was yesterday, electronically. Then today I added him the hard copy, because I saw it and got back to me. But
so
also,
when you were handing him over the copy, you never talked?
Right, Honorable Speaker, because we have, I was seeing now a tendency that human rights issues are raised in this House, and then we intend to deal with other matters. Now we are going to sports. But yet the Constitution is very clear.
Sports also a human rights matter?
Yes, but...
Let the Attorney General
yes.
be on record whether you received the service, and now because you raised that you didn't know the parties, you didn't know who was served. Just be on record and make some commitments to resolving. These are small matters, but they derail us a bit. Yeah,
so the term should apply to Honorable Mwanga. Chief Minister, you gave a ruling, and I hope your ruling had been vain, and they say that they will return to with a statement.
Yes, please, we cannot handle it this way. If we made a ruling yesterday, we create time. By the way, you people should be able, if I were you, and I know the Minister, Attorney General, and the matter has been raised here, you already have the connection. Attorney General, you don't allow members of opposition to come to your office? The lawyers, when the mandate is here, is executed elsewhere. You raise it here, we escalate the matter. The other transaction we want to get to here report. Attorney General.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The Attorney General Chambers is open, and we have a digital system, the eDocs. So we are almost 24/7. I've not seen the document on the eDocs, but I've just been served right now, the document, and I've seen it. And I can invite him, even after this session, we can sit together and ensure that it is respected in accordance with the law.
I think that is enough. The Attorney General is willing. Somebody else told me, you see, anyway, I shouldn't be giving evidence from this side. Next item, Honorable Minister of Education. I need to learn how to be a speaker, not a debater. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. I thank you for granting me this opportunity to appraise you on Uganda's preparedness to host.
Is the paper uploaded? We have it? Okay. Continue, sir.
Right Honourable Speaker, I thank you for granting me this opportunity to appraise you on Uganda's preparedness to co-host African Cup of Nations 2027 tournament alongside Kenya and the United Republic of Tanzania. This follows concerns raised by Honorable Kasule Ismail, a Member of Parliament from Hoima West Division, on this matter of national importance. Right Honourable Speaker and colleague, co-hosting a tournament of the magnitude and the complicity of the African Cup of Nations is not an undertaking that can be delivered by one ministry, department, agency, or sports federation acting alone. It requires a well-coordinated whole-of-government and whole-of-country approach. As guided by Cabinet, the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports has constituted an intersectoral committee to support the local organizing committee lock in Uganda's preparation for AFCON 2027. Furthermore, government planning for AFCON 2027 has been guided by the number of key assumptions. These include the fact that the tournament will be jointly hosted by Uganda, Kenya, and United Republic of Tanzania, that it will run from 19th June to 18th July 2027, that Uganda will host matches at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, Hoima City Stadium, and we have a backup stadium, which is Akibwa Olympic Stadium. And that 2 competition stadia together with attendant training facilities must be completed by 31st December 2026. In 2024, Cabinet not only approved the government guarantees to the Confederation of African Football, but also approved a budget of 1.35 trillion towards the infrastructure, logistical, operational costs associated with the preparation for both African Nations Championship CHAN 2024 and AFCON 2027, including Uganda's obligatory commitment fees to CAF. In addition, government has approved 905 billion to meet contractual intersectoral funding and administrative requirements for AFCON 2027. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, additional commitments include following major intervention. 1. Support to upgrading of selected hotels in Hoima and Masindi through a special credit facility in accordance with CAF standard. 2. Upgrading priority access roads, pedestrian walkways, and street lighting around Hoima City Stadium and Mandela National Stadium. 3. Construction of a passenger terminal at Kawalega Airport and operationalize the facility as an international airport. 4. Upgrade of Kadiva Stadium as a training facility and support preparations for the Uganda Cranes. 5. Support the local organizing committee to undertake tournament specific preparations across its subcommittee. 7. Remodeling and upgrade of Mandela National Stadium. 8. Deployment and improvement of to ICT infrastructure at airport, hotels, stadium training facilities, hospitals supporting the tournament. 9. Upgrade of designated health facility in Hoima, Masindi, Seruka to provide intensive care, accident and emergency services. 10. Strengthening sanitation and environmental hygiene services in host city, that's Hoima City and Masindi Municipal. 11. Upgrade of meteorological services to support tournaments operations. 12. Improvement to water supply infrastructure in Hoima City. 13. Upgrade and maintenance of railway infrastructure serving Kampala, Mukono, Namamve, and Mandela, and Nambole. 14. Extension of electricity infrastructure to key AFCON facilities, including Hoima City Stadium and Kabalega International Airport. 15. Promoting Uganda as a destination under the AFCON brand. 16. Waiver of visa fee for visitors during the tournament period. 17. Pursuit of a joint Pamoja visa with Kenya and United Republic of Tanzania to ease movements of funds and guests. Right Honorable Speaker, the above mentioned intervention will be directly implemented by the government ministries, departments, and agencies responsible. I quote that. The above mentioned intervention will be directly implemented by government ministries, departments, and agencies responsible. The Ministry of Education and Sports, the LOC, will play a supervisory role to ensure timely implementation of activities by MDAs and conformity to the CAF standards. The detailed update on infrastructure development in the preparation for AFCON tournament is as follows. Hoima City Stadium, works for construction of the Hoima City Stadium have been completed and the defect liability period will expire in December 2026. During this period, the contractor will undertake remedial works to address comments made by CAF after their recent inspection. We expect the next inspection on 31st of August next 2026. Mandela National Stadium. The Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Education and Sports and the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs for design and build works for expansion of Mandela National Stadium in Nambole under Phase 2 was signed on 26 February 2026. Under this phase, we expect, among others, the following: upgrading seating capacity from 38,000 to 45,000, improvements and expansion of the VVIPs and VIP launches, improvements in the media tribune, stadium media center, press conferences rooms, mixed zones, spectators related areas, medical areas, among others. Right Honorable Speaker, the contractor has completed design reviews and incorporated all observations raised by the Confederation of African Football. Structural integrity tests have also been successfully undertaken, confirming the project's readiness to proceed. The contractor remains scheduled to complete works within the timeline stipulated by CAF, that's 31st December 2026. Chambogot University Training Facility. Phase 2 construction works are progressing well, and the facility is expected to be completed by August. Makere University Training Facility. Construction works are ongoing. Completion is expected by August. Hoima Boma Ground. The project is on course for completion by September this year. Masindi Municipal Stadium Training Facility. Construction works are ongoing. The facility is expected to be completed by September this year. Fufa Kadiba Training Facility. The BOQs and architectural design for Kadiba are being finalized, and the site will soon be handed over to the UPDF Engineers Brigade. The scope of works include remedial works on the pitch and installation of floodlights. We envisage to complete the works by December. Why the delay? The stadium was being used by the Federation because it's a Federation facility till the end of the calendar year for football competition, which ended recently. Satito Winyi Secondary School Training Facility. The process of acquiring land at Satito Winyi is concluded, and the Ministry of Works Transport is preparing the BOQs. Works will commence in August 2026 and will be completed in December. Why the delay? There was a complaint on the land, and as per the guidance from Attorney General, government cannot invest resources where we do not have exclusive ownership of the land. So the two parties had to be brought on board, and finally there's a consent to that effect. So now we are ready to start work. Upgrade priority access roads, pedestrian walkways, and street lighting around Hoima City Stadium and Mandela National Stadium. Government is implementing a number of strategic road projects aimed at improving access to AFCON 2027 competition and training venues, while also easing traffic flow within the host cities. The works cover Jokers, Uganda Christianity University Road, 13.2 kilometers. This road is going to be completed and worked on, and that helps us ease traffic on the main Ginger Highway. And Honorable Nambose is nodding. I think let's clap for government for that. Jokers Biogerere Road, 6.2 kilometers, Jokers Nama Road, 13.3 kilometers, Chireka Kamuli Nalia Road, Biogerere Buto na Mugongo Road, Chalwajara Kira Kasangati Road, and Old Ginger Road. The project also includes improvements to Kireka and Chalwajara Junction, as well as road linkages to the northern bypass, Suru, Agenda, and Chiwatule, as well as roads to Hoima City Stadium. Progressing well with the evaluation of prospective contractors underway. 10. Support to the upgrading of selected hotels in Hoima and Masindi through a special credit facility in accordance with the CAF standard. In preparation for AFCON 2027, the government, in consultations with CAF, as shortlisted prospective hotel owners whose facilities will be upgraded to meet the required accommodation standard. A total of 101 billion has been earmarked to support hotel improvement works in Hoima City and Masindi. The funding will facilitate renovation works and provide interest rate support through the Uganda Development Bank for approved service providers. Regarding the proposed new hotel at Kabalega International Airport, a number of developers have expressed interest and the evaluation of bids is scheduled to commence on Thursday this week. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, as of this morning, the Right Honorable Prime Minister chaired a meeting between the hotel owners and Uganda Development Bank to agree on the modalities regarding the timeline for the line of credit versus the position the ministry and the bank have given, Ministry of Finance and the bank has given. I want to say the consultations are ongoing, but I'm also saying that we are cognizant of the time. Construct a passenger terminal at Kabalega Airport. This intervention is awaiting award of a contract and confirmation of financing for the outstanding funding gap to facilitate commencement of works. Government earmarked 185 billion for that project to have a terminal in Kabalega Airport in Hoima. Upgrade designated health facility in Hoima, Masindi, Seruka to provide intensive care, accident and emergency. Hoima Regional Referral Hospital construction has reached the superstructure stage. Masindi Municipal Hospital excavation works have been completed and foundation concrete works are underway. Seruka Health Center 3 walling works are progressing towards ring beam level with the roofing scheduled for completion by works. These works all are undertaken by the UPDF's Engineering Brigade. 13. Upgrade and maintenance railway infrastructure servicing Kampala, Mukono, Namamve and Nambole. Construction of a passenger boarding and drop-off station at Kampala, Nambole, Namamve and Mukono, and refurbishment and refitting or retrofitting of locomotives to support passenger transport during AFCON. Deploy improved ICT infrastructure at airport, hotel, stadia, training facilities and hospital supporting the tournament. Installation of the Wi-Fi and CCTV systems at Mandela National Stadium, Hoima City Stadium, Akibwa, 8 training facilities across Kampala, Hoima, Masindi, Gulu and Lira, selected hospital, tourism sites and Kafakret hotels in Kampala are ongoing. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to assure this House that the government remains fully committed to delivering a successful AFCON 2027. We will continue to work closely with all stakeholders to ensure that the required infrastructure, services and support system are completed within the agreed timelines. As preparations progress, government will keep this House regularly informed on implementation progress, key milestones achieved, and any emerging issues requiring attention. Before I sum up, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me again say, Akibwa Olympic Stadium is a backup stadium, 65% as of now work done, ready to be completed by 31st December 2026. Training facilities in Akibwa, in Lira City, Lira University, Gulu University, Peche Stadium are ongoing. We intend to have a 4 nations tournament, and those countries who are ready to come to Uganda early before time to acclimatize the weather for Uganda for parts of the competitions will be able to go to Akibwa. So I want the people of northern Uganda to know that government is fully committed to ensuring AFCON 2027 is for all of us. What I have not said is the $7.5 million for branding destination Uganda is already given to the Minister of Tourism. In a special way, let's thank the Minister of Finance who is here. Honorable Musasizi, we thank you for accepting to help the country host this competition. I thank you so much. I say all this for God and my country.
Honorable Kasule Ismail.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank the Minister for this statement, but also because my question actually really, I was really concerned about those non-football related infrastructure, and indeed you have highlighted many of them, like we've been reading. But also, Right Honorable Speaker, there is a very big gap between these ministries and also the Ministry of Sports and Education with the local leadership. When you go back, and it's not clear even on the roads that are going to be worked on in Hoima City, because he has brought it as a whole, but in Nambole and the Namave, he has highlighted clearly the roads that are going to be worked on. But when you look at Hoima City, it's not very clear. Last week we had a roads committee, and even the members in the roads committee, even the engineer of the city, they are not very certain about which roads are going to be worked on. The population has different information. There is a very big gap between the local organizing committee and the local leaders from Hoima City.
Honorable member, stick to your point. What you raised, was it answered?
Well, that's...
you are now raising other matters about the coordination with the local committees. We don't have that time now.
Right Honorable Speaker...
Are you satisfied with the response?
No, Right Honorable Speaker, this shows that I'm not satisfied because, one, it has not given the details. What is on ground is different, and what we are being read for here, it's also different. Because when you look, we all know that AFCON has a timeline.
Honorable member, we need you to appreciate how government works. And I need you, when a question has been raised by yourself, they are telling you that you need to resume your seat. I'm guiding so that it can help other people. You started very well. When a minister or government responds to your question, you must listen. And I think they should give you even this statement early, so that you can come here and say, I am satisfied, or this has not addressed, so that we put the minister to task. But when the minister has answered and you say, but also you have not told us about the roads in Hoima, you know, those are, please, can you answer whether this satisfies you or not?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for that guidance. Of course, back to my question, it was about the infrastructure, the non-football related infrastructure development projects that are ongoing. And in the statements of the minister, really some have been answered and some have not been answered. Like you've guided that, well, government, that's how it operates. My fear was about the time frame, because we all know, because today I had the Prime Minister also trying to emphasize that we should not allow us losing this chance of the AFCON, because the president has pledged and has promised the Ugandans, and that's why I was trying to raise this so that we all get to know. But I thank the minister for this, and I believe that the minister will organize an interface so that we get to know more about what is being done. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Minister of Education, the local leaders, including Honorable Ismail Kasule, they are missing you. Close the gap. Where is the shadow minister for the sport? Zambal, what do you know about sports?
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, Zambari Blanso Mukasa is my name, and I'm the Shadow Minister for Sport, Right Honorable Speaker. Allow me to thank the Minister for the statement. However, it is important that these few key issues are given attention. I urge the government to prioritize the timely completion of all AFCON 2027 infrastructure and related facilities well before CAF returns for its final inspection. Uganda should not wait until the last minute to address critical gaps, as this risks unnecessary embarrassment and could undermine our credibility as a co-host nation. Completing the works ahead of the final inspection will provide sufficient time for testing, certification, rectification of any defects identified, and proper operation readiness, thereby demonstrating that Uganda is fully prepared to successfully host the tournament. Being made, will government commit to presenting monthly progress reports to Parliament and implementation milestones so that this House can effectively exercise its oversight role? We want to make sure that the infrastructures built services Ugandans long after AFCON. We don't want to get reports like Chogam and other reports, if you remember. Going forward, I propose that the Committee on Education and Sports, together with the Shadow Minister of Sports, who is a member of the committee, undertake monthly oversight visits to all AFCON 2027 infrastructure projects. These regular inspections will enable Parliament to closely monitor progress, identify implementation, bottlenecks where bottlenecks are, and ensure that contractors remain on schedule. I further urge that the Minister of State for Sports facilitate and support the committee in the smooth execution of its oversight mandate by ensuring timely access to project sites, relevant documentation, and technical officials whenever required. Such collaboration will enhance transparency, accountability, and value for money as Uganda prepares to co-host AFCON Pamoja 2027. I beg to submit, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, Shadow Minister of Education, of Sports. Members, just a minute. From today, yesterday, about the shadow, the Minister of Health brought a report. The Shadow Health did respond. Attorney General brought. The Shadow responded. See, when the government side has spoken, it represents one side. When the Shadow has also spoken, it actually represents the shadow of the government. And I want to thank both sides. Let's have it on record. There is no more sleep even in this house. Because the ministers are doing very well, and those who are shadowing them are also up to the game. They are doing very well. Now on Honorable Zambali, bless you. One of those ancient names you have to remember. Just like Yakobo, yeah. You don't need permission from the House to go and do your work of oversight. The committee, that's what you are supposed to do. And please take it from me, that's a very valid point he has raised. You don't need permission of the House. Committee on Education and Sports, that should be a matter that you should follow up immediately. So we are all working together. And I want to thank you for that report, and I thank the Shadow Minister of Health for that report. Now, only that when you are not agreeing with the government, this side, you are not agreeing with the Shadow Minister, that's when you should get up to speak. Let me first guide. Because you cannot, when a Shadow Minister has, they take their time. Didn't you hear the one for health? Didn't you hear for sports? They've taken time to critique, and that should be able to help us, you know, appreciate the views of the House. Yes. Lope is coming. Please, we have many things here to, but we waste time talking about the same thing sometimes, not all the times. Lope, you want to...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to agree with both of them. Well, to appreciate both the Minister for his report and his passion, and the Shadow Minister for his feedback and equal passion. Mr. Speaker, two quick issues. The minister has told us that 101 billion shillings has been earmarked to support some hotel facilities. Now, we would want to know what modus operandi was used to arrive at those who are going to benefit. Because these are private, private hotel facilities. How did you arrive at them? It's very important. And again, there's two elements therein. There are those which are going to get some kind of credit facility, then there are those which are getting funding, a donation from government. So you need to clarify that, because your statement here is saying the funding will facilitate renovation works. That's number one. Then on the other end, provide interest support through UDB. So it would presuppose, and maybe you need to clarify this, it would presuppose some you're giving money to facilitate their renovation works, and then others are getting some kind of credit support. You need to clarify that. Number two, the intervention is awaiting the award of contract and confirmation of financing. That's for the passenger terminal at Kabalega Airport. AFCON is next year. I am a little bit worried. Mr. Speaker, in 2007, we had Chogam here. I was a journalist, and I covered Chogam. We totally mishandled Chogam. 2 days before the arrival of the Queen, they were giving money to this kind of hotels to build rooms. They were planting trees along Entebbe Road 2 days before the Queen arrived. We don't want to see a repeat of Chogam, and so we are concerned. By the way, we all want AFCON 2027 to be a success, because we all get to benefit. Yes. So when it is mishandled, we all get to suffer. So I'm very concerned about these two issues. They are 101 billion. That's a lot of money. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I think it would be good for the minister to appraise this house on a monthly basis, because we have a few months to Chogam. Would want to know on a monthly basis, because that money is appropriated here. What did I say? I said Chogam. There you are. I pray for you, by the way. People went to jail after Chogam. Yes. I hope you don't go to jail. So you need to handle this docket very, very carefully, because we saw what happened with Chogam. It was a mess. We don't want a repeat of the same. So that's why I'm saying it's good for the minister also on a monthly basis, update us on what's happening, appraise us on all these developments, so that we are in tandem. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister, do you want to respond when the Prime Minister is also here on the other matters? Respond and the issue of the money.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I want first to thank the Leader of Opposition and entirely thank my colleague, the Shadow Minister. He deserves a standing ovation for the observations he has raised. Why I'm saying this, I want first to confirm with all his submissions that as the Ministry responds for sports, we support them. Number two, we welcome the Parliamentary Committee on Sports to carry out its oversight, because that's constitutional. Number three, I'm ready, and the Ministry is ready to cooperate with you to visit all these projects. Number three, those which are under our mandate as a Minister of Education and Sports are sporting. Like in my statement, I didn't mention clearly, this is ministry by ministry approach. For instance, if you talk about roads, this work is being undertaken by Minister of Works and Transport. If you talk about airport, it's under the Minister of Works and Transport. If you talk about the contractors in different sectors, it's according to the procurement methods used by those respective sectors. So I wanted first to make that clear. But to the specifics, 101 billion, Right Honorable Leader of Opposition, is a loan facility which government has earmarked to give to the selected hotels. I will talk about the selected hotels. That loan facility, what government has done, you all know that the lending rates of UDB is 12%. Here we discussed that can we give them at 5%, so that we are able to give them, and then also can we talk about the time the duration of the facility. Because these people were having their businesses, but now CAF, as per our host agreement, has come as and indicated the specific areas they want them to improve. And to some of them, it was not a must, they must do it. And that's why we had to sit with them. Now, how were they identified? I want to come to the following. Number one, there was a CAF consultant who was contracted by the Confederation of African Football. It came here and went as a co-chair CAF guidelines have given us. So as a ministry responsible for education, our role is coordination. And I want to emphasize, we will continue to coordinate the project. Let me finish up first responding to the issues raised. The other one was the involvement of the local leaders. I want to say this. For the record, I'm aware we have elected new leaders, including some of us here. This is a new term of office. This project started in the other term. It is true we are working with the new leaders, the old leaders of the city of Hoima. And I want to confirm, I take observations which has been raised by the honorable member. As a ministry formally, I will be able to write formally to the local authorities in Hoima city, meet them, and get them directly involved in the management and explain what awaits them in as far as AFCON 2027 is concerned. I also want to say, for purposes of my sister from Wakiso, I entirely want to say this, Madam Member of Parliament, and the leadership of Wakiso. The RCC, and in line with the host agreement between Uganda and CAF, one of the representatives of the local authorities is meant to be in the local organizing committee. And I want to confirm, for Wakiso, the resident city commissioner, the RDC of Wakiso, is a member on the local organizing committee. For Hoima, RDC, for Hoima, can I please protect the right most speaker? I was talking about the involvement of the local leaders. But number two, for my colleague here, I want formally to say this right most speaker. I will be able to formally communicate and have an engagement with my colleagues of the members of parliament from Wakiso as a whole, because if you look at what we are doing in the entire project, is by the way Wakiso, Nambole is Wakiso. And I want to say this, honorable colleagues, with your permission, that can I proceed and finish? The other issues which were raised, Madam Right Honorable Speaker, is on the issue of the roads, which are meant to be worked on the Hoima cluster. It's an oversight. I promise to communicate formally to you from my statement. I'd actually made it was within, but the first one is the Rujumba Road, which is going to have an interloop to the city in Hoima. That one is meant to be tarmacked. Last but not least, Right Honorable Speaker, timely report to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, you are the originator of the order paper. I'm at your service as a minister in the docket of education to report to Parliament as when is agreed. The other one is only, I think, Right Honorable Speaker, those were the main issues which have been raised. But once again, I want to reiterate, government is committed to implementation of AFCON 2027. On the project becoming Chogam, friends, I think we learn from different lessons. And I studied history. And the French word was a bobon what? They learned nothing and forgot nothing. I don't want to be that student who learned nothing and forgot nothing. The Minister of Education and Sports is clearly headed by the First Lady. We have managed very well. This project will be implemented without learning nothing.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Honorable
Speaker.
Minister, yes, what's the procedure matter?
The procedure matter is that today is a Thursday, and I rise on our Rule 43. It's Prime Minister. Time, and as you realize, Mr. Speaker, we still have so many issues concerning AFCON. We need to be clarified on several matters, especially us who are concerned and who are representing the areas. Mr. Speaker, before I now raise the matter of procedure, I beg that the minister plans a meeting with first us who are concerned in the different areas. We raise to him so many other matters we can't move on here. And two, as a procedure matter, it's Prime Minister's time. Procedure, right? We first stop this debate and then we proceed with Prime Minister's time, and then you accord us time more to discuss AFCON. I thank you.
You are eating into the Prime Minister's time by raising procedure matter. But thank you. I think the Prime Minister, you need to meet the leaders who are from Hoima, Wakiso, Mukono. Please, there is only one speaker in the House. I am just mentioning a few. You are intimidating me. Do you know the crisis that you can have if I walked out unceremoniously? So Honorable Prime Minister, you should make undertaking that you call these members and then meet them so that they can raise. You coordinate. You are the coordinator. You are the overall boss. They may raise matters of roads, electricity, lighting in those areas. Yes, say something, and then we go back to your time.
Right, Honorable Speaker and members, I'm happy that everybody is now in the mood of AFCON 2027. And for this, I want to thank the President and the First Lady who has been coordinating all these efforts. Right, Honorable Speaker, a lot has been done, and we are well coordinated, and we are doing all that is possible to make sure that Uganda hosts AFCON 2027. That, Honorable Speaker, I undertake to involve all colleagues, both in Wakiso, Kampala, and Hoima, even leader for Achibwa. That, Honorable Speaker and members, today I chaired a meeting of hotel owners, including those from northern Uganda. Because as we speak now, Achibwa is 100% complete. Yes, they are just planting grass now. 100%, apart from a few patches here and there. I am saying construction is 100%. That, Honorable Speaker, information not taken. That, Honorable Speaker and members, all of us wish the best for this country. And I know we have an obligation. I once again undertake to involve everybody.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, we are not doing very well with the time. Everyone wants to speak on everything. And I want us to agree on how we are going to move. We have this order paper. The rules indicate that when it is 4 p.m., it is Prime Minister's time. Clerk?
Item 6 on the order paper, statement by the Right Honourable Prime Minister on government business for the succeeding week, 21st to 23rd July 2026, pursuant to Rule 29 of the Rules of Procedure.
Right Honourable Prime Minister. That takes less than 5 minutes.
Right Honourable Speaker and members, I move under Rule 29(1) of our Rules of Procedure to give a statement of the business of the succeeding week. That is 21st to 23rd July 2026. Number 1, government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we represent a statement on the protocol, trustees and international agreement.
We have about 29 questions that would still need. They are matters of national importance. Some, I deferred them to today, so that we want also to spend some time with you. We miss you sometimes. So the members who have heard that, if time will allow, we shall, even if it's 1 minute, you listen to all this, and then you have your team here, you know, to respond. So, Right Honourable Prime Minister, first go for this, you dispose of what you have, and then we can try. Procedure, when you are seated, I don't agree.
Right Honourable Speaker and members, we received written questions from members, and there are 7. And we have responded to these questions in writing. Honourable Rugwa Benson, MP Agago North County, he raised the matter concerning the escalating human-wildlife conflict that is directly undermining our food security and economic empowerment in his constituents. And his prayer is, can government provide an update on the matter? Right Honourable Speaker, my response is that the Uganda Wildlife Authority has established satellite ranger outposts. Tikao outpost is already deployed, and that is in Agago North, and one southern 300 rangers are undergoing training to improve this response. Right Honourable Speaker and members, electric fencing program is ongoing. Sensitization is also underway because some stakeholders fear land take or land grabbing. So we have to sensitize our people. Right Honourable Speaker and members, government is promoting block farming, and we have recruited community wildlife scouts as volunteers where Uganda Wildlife Authority has no presence. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, US dollars 3.5 million Kidepo landscape integrated conservation and development project will start this financial year 2026-2027, and this will cover Agago, Abim, Kalenga, Kabong, Kotido, Chitigum, and Lamu to reduce human-wildlife conflicts. The second question came from Honorable Osuru Maureen, woman MP Arua City. She raised the matter concerning the segregative vehicle transit permit through the Bugungu Gate at Maxon Falls National Park, Game Park, which risks potential loss of revenue to the national economy. And her prayer is, can the government update on the matter? That Honorable Speaker and members, this is my response. The road through Bugungu Gate is not a public road. Use is subject to park regulations. And all vehicles must pay the UA tariff fees. Exemptions to only vehicles with sick referrals, UPDF, Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Service on official operations with evidence. Right Honorable Speaker, the third question came from Achayo Julie, woman MP, Ngora County. She says that during the last cropping season, there was severe attack on groundnuts by groundnut rosette, affecting over 75% of the households in Ngora. And her prayers are, one, that government supports farmers with rosette-tolerant groundnut seed varieties and planting materials for short-term food security crops in the next planting season. And the second one is agriculture extension services be strengthened to educate farmers on the best farming practices, especially the management and control of the groundnut rosette. My response, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that I have taken note of the members' prayer for government to support farmers with rosette-tolerant groundnut seed varieties and planting materials for short-term food security crops in the next planting season. I will inform the President accordingly, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is hereby put on alert. However, those who can afford, they can go and buy Serene Nut 214, which is a rosette-tolerant variety from the market, open markets, and can proceed and purchase it in the meantime. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries Extension technical teams are already engaging Ngora district, and every district has agricultural officers. Right Honorable Speaker, the recommended practices are one, use certified seeds. The other one is early planting, proper spacing, intercrop with beans or sorghum, uproot and bury infected plants, apply cypermethrin 5% EC or neem extract if infection is high. Report symptoms to the sub-county extension workers. The first question came from Honorable Akeo Peter, MP Bukoli Island County. According to our brother, he says he, the President of the Republic of Uganda, did write a letter to the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, directing that the power be extended to Siguru Island, Namaingo, and Buvuma Island. And his prayer is, what is the status of the project. My response, Right Honourable Speaker and members, that the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has commenced the Public Investment Management System process. The project is currently at the project profile stage, awaiting consideration by the Development Committee. From the European Union under the Gate Access project. The contractor has been procured while the submarine cable is processed. I got a fifth question from Honorable Keyo again, and that this Parliament did amend the Mining Act to provide for artisan miners. That why are our people in Namaingo, Kasanda and the Buhweju districts being harassed by armed men? That Honorable Speaker, my response is that the Mining and Mineral Policy 2018, the Mining and Mineral Act 2022, the Mining and Mineral Artisanal Mining Regulations 2025 provide a legal and regulatory regime for development of artisanal miners in Uganda. Mining is only permitted within gazetted artisanal mining zones. To enforce this, the Police Minerals Protection Unit is halting illegal mining activities outside gazetted mining zones. And this is aimed at curbing environmental degradation, the spread of epidemics, occupational health and safety hazards, and the use of hazardous chemicals such as mercury. Right Honourable Speaker and members, the Ministry is currently organizing and registering artisanal miners in 2 associations and cooperatives as a requirement before licensing them to operate within gazetted mining areas. The progress so far is that 20 artisans and small-scale mining licenses have been issued to miners in Namaingo, Kasanda, and Buhweju districts. In addition, the Ministry of Energy is engaging gold rush miners across the country. Mining in these areas has been halted until the activity is formalized under the law. The 6th question came from Rugwa Benson, MP Agago. He says that LOC1 elections are scheduled for 28th July, and this, according to him, is coinciding with the breast Ambrosoli Day, which is observed on 28th July, marking the anniversary of his death in 1987. Let me repeat this. That Honourable Speaker, LOC1 elections are scheduled for 28th July, and this is coinciding with the breast Ambrosoli's Day, which is observed on 28th July, marking the anniversary of his death in 1987. The yearly celebrations include large masses, community events, and cultural displays, and visits to the hospital and memorial site to honor his legacy of providing free medical care to those in need. And his prayer is this day coincides with the local elections of LOC, and this has prompted local leaders to inquire about this scheduling. Can government update on this matter? Right Honourable Speaker and members, my response is the Electoral Commission, in conjunction with the Ministry of Public Service ensures that the gazetted public holidays are excluded when preparing election roadmap. The 28th day of July is not gazetted as a public holiday. Therefore, the local council or village cell elections can proceed as earlier scheduled. For clarity, paragraph 14 of the administrative unit's guidelines for 2026 elections issued by the Electoral Commission provides the following program for polling day. Number 1, 7 to 10 a.m. verification of voters by the village election officials. That's the presiding officer. Voter education and briefing of voters on voting procedures by the village election official. That's the presiding officer. Number 3, 11 to 11:30, voting by the electorate, lining up and counting of votes. 11:30 to 12 p.m. is filling of Form EC 10 and declaration of the chairperson-elect. Number 5 is noon to 2 p.m. nomination and approval of the executive committee members by the village council and the filling Form EC 11. That, Honorable Speaker and members, as per the program, the election is a half-day event. After 2 p.m., the people can proceed to commemorate the Ambrose's feast day accordingly. Number 7, Honorable Pachuto, District Woman Representative, Pakwach, that the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act 2023 was passed over 3 years ago, and Parliament resolved that a fisheries regulation be brought to the House within 3 months. And further, the President directed in September 2025 that the same be brought to this August House within a month. Her prayer is, can the Prime Minister update why to date this legislation has not been tabled to this August House, despite continued harassment of the fishermen on the lakes and rivers of Uganda by the armed forces, thereby causing untold suffering and poses a great threat to their livelihoods. That could I explain why MAIF has not up to now? Amlake Honorable is listening behind here. Why Honorable Franka Tumwebaze has for debate and approval by the House, and yet the operations continue to take effect on the water, especially on sizes of vessels, the boat sizes. Could we also know where revenue collected from the fish levy is being put to use, since there is no specific support that has been extended to the fishing community to enable them transit from illegal fishing methods to modern fishing methods, and they conform to the fishing policy? My response, of course, I consulted the Honorable Minister, that the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, MAIF, has been having consultative engagements with various stakeholders, including fishing communities, fish traders and processors, to ensure that the resultant regulations capture all their views. That, Honorable Speaker, the last stakeholders meeting is scheduled for Friday, 17th, that's tomorrow, 2026. Now, following these engagements, 9 regulations have been developed. They will be ready for tabling before Parliament within the August month, 2026. That's next month. Right Honorable Speaker, currently, all funds collected are directly remitted to the Consolidated Fund. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I beg to submit.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. And I'm made aware, yes, Honorable, are you exercising or you're standing up? You could be stretching. Okay. Yes, Honorable Lusakel.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to comment a little about the feast day or the celebration of the Blessed Ambrosoli Gusepe. The question that was raised by Honorable Benson. Yes, it is not a public holiday, but it does not only affect the people of Kalon, it is actually an international activity. Because if it wasn't for Ebola, we would even have visitors and guests from Italy. Because the Blessed Ambrosoli originally came from Italy. So guests would actually be coming from Rome, from Italy, and other parts of the world. Even within Uganda, I would expect people from Amuru to be coming. But also, Right Honorable, I don't know if I can now raise my issue since I've made this statement.
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me raise a matter that is actually very urgent. It concerns or is in regard to the continued suspension of about 10 NGOs. And I'm very happy that the Prime Minister is here. Right Honorable Prime Minister, you may be aware that there are about 10 NGOs, and if you will, I could read out the names for you. 1, the Africa Center for Media Excellence. 2, Agora Center for Research. 3, Alliance for Campaign Finance Monitoring. African Center for Treatment and Rehabilitation of Torture Victims, ACTV. Chapter 4, Uganda. Center for Constitutional Governance. Uganda National NGO Forum. Network for Public Interest Lawyers. National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders, Uganda. Uganda Rights Network for Journalists.
Your time is up, apparently.
I asked for permission to read. That's why I took a...
And who gave you permission? You asked for the prayer. Do the prayer.
Thank you, Right Honorable. The prayer is, why are these organizations still closed up to now, and yet they weren't given time to defend themselves? And then can we get a statement on what the actual decision on these NGOs will be, because it is affecting so many Ugandans who have been left unemployed. Thank you so much.
Okay, Prime
and accounts
Minister,
frozen. Thank you.
We agreed you will accommodate some few, and please, we want short ones.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, Right Honorable Speaker and members, I want to thank the member for this question. Members, you will realize that some NGOs during the 2020-2021 election period became partisan. That is one. Two, there are some NGOs that put their request and they were allowed to operate again. I can give an example of Give Directly. You realize that Give Directly has even supported us in Mount Elgon sub-region, and yet it was part of those that had been stopped to operate in the country. So I will request that you put that in writing so that I get a more detailed answer. But that is what I can say.
Thank you. Honorable Anyero.
Opportunity. My name is Christine Lanyero Awany, woman member of parliament for Nwaya district. Honorable Speaker, on the 8th I rise up on the same issue of the wildlife conflicts with the human. Actually, I feel guilty on this floor because the answer was not befitting to my community. And they requested me to come back on this floor and present their question. Because when I asked, and it was still fresh in their mind, when the elephant had just killed a man who left a widow and children who are now orphans, and there's nobody to take care of them.
So your question is, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, another person was killed today. So the issue of interaction with the wildlife, the last time that you gave her the response in this house that they should report to police, I don't know whether that is true. Then she came to my office that how would they report wild animals to police? You may have a response, right?
Right Honorable Speaker and members, it is quite interesting but equally saddening because we are losing lives. Right Honorable Speaker, I meant that the people who are affected needed to report to police because the wild animals belong to us as government and all of us. So when they stray, these people need to report to police. But I have the Minister of State. I think she can throw more light because that is her docket.
Thank you. That's why she's paid. Yes, not even in Mabugo, I'm told. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to condole with the family.
My colleague Nwaya County asked the Honorable Prime Minister going to the park, and her response was, they are killed because they go poaching. And I feel that this answer was also not befitting, sincerely, honorable members, because there's no law in Uganda which allow a criminal to be killed.
Member.
Thank you.
We said when you access the microphone without permission, it will quarreling. And the moment you access it without permission, you are quarreling.
Anybody. Members, yes, if they find you with the gadgets, they can confiscate the gadgets. Let me ask the minister, because that's her docket.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. Right Honorable Speaker, the rangers are guided by the standard operating procedures in the Wildlife Authority. And in situations like poaching, they are supposed to arrest and prosecute. They are not allowed to kill. So, in any case, if such an occurrence happens, it's a police matter. It's supposed to be reported to police, and these rangers are held liable for their actions. It's not anywhere in the law that they can kill anybody. Now,
where the animals killed?
In the case of elephants, we agree there is a lot of human-wildlife conflict. And it's majorly in areas where the parks have not been fenced. We use electric fencing. Already the
information. No information. She's the minister. Yeah. How do you
allow me to first give you the information? Already, government has sponsored electric fencing to the tune of more than 400 kilometers at every conservation area. But there are areas where there are land issues and the community is not allowing electric fencing to be done. So as guided by the Speaker 2 days ago, we are now going to engage the local leadership and the communities to allow for the electric fencing to be done across all parks, and that way we shall reduce.
On this matter, can the honourable members concerned come to you so that you see how to console and condone with the family?
Most obliged, Honourable Speaker. Please let's engage.
That sounds good. Now, procedure on the honourable members in the VIP gallery this afternoon. We have the Right Reverend Constantine Ruping, Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese. He is the main celebrant of today's Feast of St. Thomas More. He is accompanied by a delegation of the following: Father Posian Kawesa, chaplain of the Catholic chaplain here, Father Camillus Chandin, Father Norbert Azale, Father Charles Luanga, Father Joseph Musoke, Father Deo Sengendo, Father Stephen Oribadugu, the Chancellor Nebi Diocese, Father John Mary Musei Chibirige, and Sister Alice. Please join me in welcoming them and make them feel welcome. The 4 districts are Nebi, Zombo, Pakwach, and the Madiokolo. The leaders here, they can stand up for recognition. You see their faces. The elder, Honorable Akumu, Honorable Pachuto, Honorable Emmanuel, Honorable Drito, Honorable Topista Achamfua, Honorable Macho Alenyo, Honorable Isaac Otingo, Honorable Gabriel Okumu, Honorable Minister Fiona Nyam something. Honorable Grace Freedom Kwichun, and the Honorable Joan Aniku, Honorable Jane Pachuto, she was ready. Many of them. So, and Honorable Ogama Ali. Honorable Sowungu is a member of the Catholic altar boy who wanted to be a priest, but yes. So actually on this note, he is the first bishop, Catholic bishop, to come to this new term of parliament. And I was blessed this morning at 10. He came and prayed for me and blessed me. So I'm very, very blessed now. So those of you, yes, so anyway, I'm blessed. Members, just we shall have to release the members from those greater maybe the 4 districts when time comes. Let's process this. Let's process this. Honorable Anit Pamela Chirunji, the MP Kabarole, is she here? Can you raise in 1 minute?
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. The matter that I wanted to talk about was ably responded to by the Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
only want to request, Right Honorable, that when they're considering the conflict between human beings and animals, that Kabarole district be considered, especially those areas that surround or neighbor Chivale National Park.
Thank you. Such brilliant MPs, they have a better future. Honorable Sarah Aguti, you don't waste time, speak like you went to school. Because the whole world is watching. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
What's the national matter? What is the important matter at the national level?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Sarah Guti, a woman representative, Dokolo District. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of the Prime Minister the presidential pledge about a model bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, the President had pledged to build a model bridge in Dokolo District. Last year, during the budget, a model was put in the budget and got the money. I did the follow-up with the ministry. Right Honorable Speaker,
now,
I did the follow-up.
Honorable Member, don't extract presidential pledges and you bring as a matter of national importance. There is a whole committee here headed by a very able man, Honorable Zake Francis.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. Let me go straight to the matter of national importance.
Now that will be referred to Honorable Zake's committee. But Prime Minister, if you are courteous, you may have something to say. Only if you are courteous. We will under you.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, a bridge helps us to connect one area to another. And so I request that she puts it in writing. I will get an answer from the President and the relevant authorities that will work on it for the good of our people.
Thank you. Honorable Malende. Madam, Honorable Madam. The Prime Minister has been very generous to you. Please, you will not get better than that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Shamim Malenda, woman member of Pala District. I rise under Rule 56 on a matter of urgent public importance, which concerns the maternal health of women in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, in a recent online podcast, we had one Shiba Karungi Samali, one of the biggest artists in Uganda, narrating her experience after giving birth, and that clearly indicated that very many women suffer from postpartum complications. Right Honorable Speaker, as a woman leader, I have engaged with several women mothers who are victims, and I'm also in contact with some organizations to see that we can raise awareness in this line.
Prayer.
So my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, is how is the government helping us to raise awareness regarding these postpartum conditions that affect the mothers of Uganda? I so pray.
Prime Minister, you can choose anybody who answers. You've chosen the Honorable Barry Omus. This time in 1 minute.
Thank you very much. I thank the woman MP for Kampala for raising this issue. Right Honorable Speaker, I haven't looked at that podcast. I will look for it and see. But what I can briefly say is that pregnancy and childbirth is a physiological condition, it's not a sickness. And therefore, no mother should die or suffer complications in the process of giving life. And we have many interventions which have been in the press. And I can tell the Parliament that maternal mortality, which is a measure of mothers who die as a result of pregnancy or childbirth-related complications, has been coming down over the last 30, 40 years. And we have very many interventions. Yesterday I told the Parliament office that we do a workshop, a dialogue, and we tell members of Parliament the several interventions we are pursuing as a sector. But I agree with her that we should strengthen our maternal health services so that mothers do not suffer while giving birth to children.
Thank you. Honorable Namboze. I think they will find you another seat.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, people who did not learn from the Buganda riots of 2009 are at it again, holding meetings in Bugerere and denouncing the Kabaka of Buganda and his institution with a claim that President Museveni gave Kayunga districts to Banyala exclusively. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to know from the Prime Minister if it is true that the President has given Kayunga district to Banyala exclusively and it is no longer part of Buganda Kingdom, that is under the Kabaka of Buganda, and two, what steps government is taking to stop people from making such reckless.
Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, this is something that I cannot comment on now because I did not get what the information she's talking about. I promise that I will engage the concerned so that if there are any acts that can disrupt our security and coexistence, can be handled by the relevant authorities.
Sit down.
Honorable Lillian, woman MP of Singiro. I thought she would even.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to put this to the attention of the Prime Minister that in today's talk, Mbarara Referral Hospital is in the talk of the nation. But from the informed point of view, 50% of the patients in Mbarara Hospital are from Isingiro. And Isingiro is one of the biggest districts. We are having 30 sub-counties and 2 refugee camps. We do not have a district hospital. Right, Honorable Prime Minister, how can we do it? What can we do to have a district hospital in Isingiro that we can offload the overwhelming people in Mbarara Hospital? I beg to submit.
Right Honorable, I saw you, the Minister of Health in Mbarara, and I thought you were doing good work there. Prime Minister, have you delegated him to speak, to answer? She's talking about the congestion and the situation in the national referral.
Yes. We have plans to elevate some of the health center floors to hospital status, especially in the districts where there are no hospitals. And therefore, we shall prioritize Isingiro district, now that she has raised it. About Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital, yes, I did an impromptu visit to the hospital, and I toured it from 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. on the 11th of July to do an on-spot assessment on how the hospital runs, especially when we have not informed the authorities, and did made many observations, some of which have to be fixed by us in the government, but also others are managerial and action to fix the weaknesses which can be fixed immediately, and also as government try to support not only Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital but other hospitals so that they can function much better. I pledge that we are totally committed to ensuring that we improve the quality of care in our health facilities.
Thank you. Honorable Rone.
Point of procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Rone.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Prime Minister, Bouquet de Sub-Region was invited in Soroti by the Vice President on matters of cattle restocking and rehabilitation. And it was included on the program. But I got surprised when the program started, they were excluded. May I know from you why Bouquet de Sub-Region was excluded from the cattle restocking and rehabilitation? Secondly, last time I asked the same question to you, I didn't get an answer. May I know from you, every constituency is mandated to have a technical school. May I know from you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, when will Gogonyo constituency get a Popong Technical School? Thank you.
Right Honorable Prime Minister. In his question is quite loaded, if you know where the speaker comes from.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Honorable Rone is aware that I'm part of his constituency. I stayed in Ipalisa for more than 5 years. Right Honorable Speaker, the restocking program started long ago in the areas of Acholi, Langu, and Teso sub-region. And you are aware that last year, this parliament appropriated 80 billion for the same exercise. The money we spent last financial year